Hello students, welcome to your channel. Please like, share and subscribe your own channel, School Studies. School Studies is pleased to announce the launch of our educational website, Patel Section. After years of hard work and dedication, we are delighted to officially announce the launch. Our goal with this website is to provide our students with an easier way to learn their lesson and prepare for exams. So do visit our website for more information and more videos. So today we will see a video related to NCERT Solution for Class 10th English First Flight Chapter 5 The 100 Dresses 1. So let's solve the textbook exercise. The first question is, where in the classroom does Wanda sit and why? Wanda Petronsky used to sit in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in room 13. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not get good marks sat. She was poor and shy girl and sat at that place because her feet were usually caked with dry mud. She did not want to laugh at for her appearance by others, so she preferred to sit alone in the corner. Next, where does Wanda live? What kind of place do you think it is? Wanda used to live in a Bokin Heights. That place was very far away from her school and it was muddy all around, which indicated that there were no proper roads in that place and poor people usually lived there. When and why do Peggy and Maddie notice Wanda's absence? Wanda was absent from school on Monday and Tuesday, but nobody noticed her absence as she had no friends in the class. Peggy and Maddie noticed Wanda's absence on Wednesday as they were waiting to make fun of her after school hours. They waited for a long time, but she was nowhere to be seen. What do you think to have fun with her means? To have fun with her means to ridicule her or make fun of Wanda's imperfections. She was a shy and quiet girl and her classmates often taunted her for her name and appearance. She was a source of amusement for them as she had claimed that she had 100 dresses and 60 pairs of shoes in her closet. In what way was Wanda different from the other girl? Wanda Petronsky was a Polish girl whose parents had shifted to America from Poland. She was a source of amusement because of her name, which her classmates had never heard before. They found it difficult to pronounce as Americans did not have such names. Hence, she was treated differently by her classmates. She came to school all by herself and her feet were always caked with the mud. She had no friends in the class. She preferred to sit in isolation as she feared being ridiculed by others. She had only one blue faded dress, but she claimed to have 100 dresses and 60 pairs of shoes when asked by Peggy and Maddie. These are some of the reasons which set her apart from other children. Next, did Wanda have 100 dresses? Why do you think she said she did? Wanda was teased every single day by her classmates after school hours. She used to wear a blue faded dress to school regularly. They used to make fun of her dress, appearance and her name. Hearing all the teasing and taunting every day, she got fed up and claimed to have 100 dresses and 60 pairs of shoes in her closet, but nobody believed her. Generally speaking, Wanda was a strong and determined girl for whom the number of dresses were not the main concern, but her inner talent that matters the most. Why did Maddie embarrassed by the question Peggy asks Wanda? Is she also like Wanda or is she different? Maddie was embarrassed by the questions Peggy asked Wanda because she was poor herself and empathized with Wanda's mental condition. She also wore somebody's else clothes that were handed down to her. She came from a poor family too and understood Wenda's state of mind. She could feel for Wanda but was not sorry for Wanda for the 100 dresses claimed by her. Meanwhile, she also wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda for her looks and name. Why didn't Maddie ask Peggy to stop teasing Wanda? What was she afraid of? Maddie didn't ask Peggy to stop teasing Wanda because Peggy was her best friend and the most popular girl in the school. Maddie thought that Peggy was a nice girl, but she treated Wanda differently. Otherwise, she had a helpful nature. Although she wanted Peggy to stop teasing Wanda, she didn't ask her to do so as she afraid that if she objected, she would be Peggy's next target of mockery. Next, who did Maddie think would win the drawing contest? Why? Maddie didn't ask Peggy to stop teasing Wanda because. Sorry, this is the repeated question. How is Wanda seen as different by the other girls? How do they treat her? Wanda Petronsky was a Polish girl who had settled with her parents in America. She lived in Boggins Heights where there were no proper roads. She came to school from a far off place and wore the same faded blue dress every day, and her feet were always covered with mud. Her classmates often made fun of her name as it was difficult to pronounce and different from other American names. Her appearance was also not proper, owing to which her classmates made fun of her and teased her after school hours. On being repeatedly teased for her attire, this broke the limits of her endurance, and she claimed to have had 100 dresses and 60 pairs of shoes in her closet. How does Wanda feel about the dresses game? Why does she say that she has 100 dresses? Wanda was a shy and quiet girl who used to feel embarrassed for her appearance but always remained silent in the class. She never talked to anyone and sat at the corner of the room with rough boys so that nobody will notice her. She was always snickered at by other girls but never complained about it. To avoid their constant taunt and humiliation, Wanda claimed that she had 100 dresses and 60 pairs of shoes in her closet. Later on, she drew sketches of all the 100 dresses on paper for the drawing competition and won the first prize among girls for her talent. Why does Maddie stand up and not do anything? How is she different from Peggy? Why? Which lines in this test tell you this? Peggy was the most popular girl in the class and she was Maddie's best friend. Although Maddie was poor, Peggy never teased her as she did with Wanda because Maddie believed that Wanda was being taunted for her claim of having 100 dresses. Maddie was afraid of losing Peggy's friendship. Hence, she always supported her. She did not dare annoy Peggy and always preferred to remain silent while the later teased Wanda. The line, Peggy was the best liked girl in the whole room. Peggy could not possibly do anything that was really wrong, illustrated that Maddie always stood by Peggy. Next, what does Miss Mason think of Wanda's drawing? What do the children think of them? How do you know? Miss Mason was very impressed with Wanda's drawing. She felt that each dress was drawn beautifully and was worthy to win the contest individually. The children were also impressed by Wanda's drawing skill as they all applauded her, and the boys who didn't understand much about dresses also whistled in appreciation when she won the drawing contest among the girls. Now think about language. Look at these sentences. These are the sentences which we have to look. Combine the following to make sentence like those above. This is the bus. What kind of bus? It goes to Agra. Use which or that. So this is the bus that goes to Agra. I would like to buy shirt. The shirt is in the shop window. Use which or that. I would like to buy a shirt that is in the shop window. You must break your fast at a particular time. You see the moon in the sky. You must break your fast at a particular time when you see the moon in the sky. Find a word. It begins with the letter Z. Find a word that begins with the letter Z. Now find a person. His or her name begins with the letter Z. Now find a person whose name begins with the letter Z. Then go to the place. There are no people whose name begins with Z in that place. Then go to the place where there are no people whose name begins with Z, letter Z. So this is the narrative voice. Here are two other sentences from the story. Can you say whose point of view the italicized words express? But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with our other children who got good marks and who didn't track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda wasn't there. Now here, these words in this sentence express the point of view of Peggy and Maddie. In this paragraph, there are two sentences from the story. So Wanda Petronsky, most of the children in the room 13 didn't have names like that. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith or Allen. These words given sentence express the point of view of the narrator about the names of the other children in Wanda's class. Now, next look at the sentences. Obviously, the only dress Wanda had was the blue one she wore every day. This was obvious to the speaker. Other such adverbs are apparently, evidently, surprisingly, possibly, hopefully, incredibly, luckily. So these are the words appropriately in the blanks in the sentences below. So surprisingly, he finished his work on time. Hopefully, it will not rain on the day of the match. Possibly, he had been stealing money from his employers. Television is evidently to blame for increase in violence in society. The children will hopefully learn from their mistakes. I can't possibly let that much money. The thief had apparently been watching the house of the many days. The thief luckily escaped by bribing the jailer. Surprisingly, no one had suggested this before. The water was incredibly hot. This was chapter 5 of NCERT Solution for Class 10th English. I hope you like my video. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you. Please leave comment, question or doubts in comment section if you have any, or you can drop a mail to us. You will find my email ID at the end of this video. You can also join us on Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, connect us on LinkedIn or tweet us on Twitter. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you.